Listener discretion advised.
Now, here's Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Hey, it's Loveline. Let me get the phone number out. 1-800-LOVE-191. Yes, Drew, we're doing a friggin' radio show.
How much of that went out on the airway?
I don't know. You didn't
Did you
hear
hear us talking?
No, okay, good.
Very nice. Very nice. They were just, tell me what happened. They were pumping music in here. We had no idea they were going on the air.
Well, should I say that again, or did you just say it? I think you just said it, Drew. All right, fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew. He's a board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Tonight we have Imperial Drag. They will be dragged in here in about 10 minutes. They will join us. I went to high school with the drummer from Imperial Drag.
No kidding.
Absolutely. Eric Skodes. Naturally, he's not here.
Why do the guys look so much younger than you?
I've had a hard life.
Yeah,
Let me tell you about the pampered. Let me tell you about the pampered life of the rock and roll star. People, peeling grapes, being fanned with ostrich feathers and whatnot. Meanwhile, let me tell you about the stark reality of the carpet cleaner. Soil bust and other chemicals floating up in the mist. That's why I'm aged. That's what happened to my brain, Drew. I sucked up too many carpet chemicals.
You recovered from your roller coaster experience?
Yeah, I did, but then I ate too many pancakes tonight.
Yeah.
So I don't feel good again.
So that's got you tonight, huh? At least it's not your brain tonight.
No, it's just my belly.
Yeah.
All right, so Drew, I watched that tape.
Oh, yeah, the killer sperm tape, right?
Right.
The Learning Channel.
Absolutely.
Right. You watched the whole thing?
Absolutely.
I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, I learned about how the chimps court each other. Basically, that, and I felt better, actually, because as it turns out, in nature, in the animal world, in the animal kingdom, they get it over with sexually.
Right.
And the woman doesn't even know what happened. She's like, catching fish or something. The guy sneaks up behind her. He gives her a couple quick how do you do's, and he's gone.
Right.
And more women ought to watch this nature film. They don't know how good they have it with a good 5 minutes of love I give them. All right, Drew, you ready to get some calls?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, anyway, but it turns out to be true with the sperm.
What?
Well, they showed the sperm.
Yeah, they showed that there's some sperm that sort of stay behind and don't go after the egg and seem to have the capacity to damage other advancing sperm from other people,
and
other males.
They lock tails and form this
a web.
This big, you know, in soccer when they get the free kick, and all those guys stand there and they cover their nuts and they turn their head.
Right, that's what it looks like. Doesn't
kind of that thing, except for the soccer ball would represent the sperm of like the neighbor guy who was also banging your girlfriend.
Right.
And they try not to let it score, but once in a while it gets through and the crowd goes nuts. All right, you ready, Drew?
Yeah.
You got your call?
Mm-hmm.
Frank, 26, you're on Loveline.
Yes, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Frank.
Okay, my situation here is that I have a question for the doctor. Hopefully he can help. Well, a couple weeks ago, I was electrocuted by an electric fence by accident. Well, kind of, and right now
What happened? I mean, what were you doing? Climbing
I really can't say. I was engaging in some illegal activity, and I accidentally got caught in an electrified fence. And I didn't go to the hospital because, I didn't feel that bad. I mean, I got the hell jolted out of me, but I didn't feel it was severe enough to go to a hospital because, I thought I was afraid that maybe the police would have been notified or something like that.
Did you get any burns?
A couple right on the side of my ribs. They're not bad though. I put some cream on there, but it's just the jolt of electricity. I got a bad headache afterwards.
Did you lose consciousness?
Yes. No, actually, no, I didn't, because I took ice cold shower afterwards.
But immediately, upon electrocution, did you lose consciousness?
I just felt real dizzy and sick. I was nauseous. I threw up.
Okay.
Frank,
yeah.
I'm dying to know. What were you doing?
All I can say, it was attempted burglary, but unsuccessful.
Yeah, was this a residence or some sort of, official government building?
No, it was just a business. I really can't say on the grounds I might incriminate myself. But other than that, I just felt some nausea afterwards, some vomiting. I took a lot of aspirin, but I feel better now. But now, I can't get an erection no matter how hard I try. I've done some.
Good. We're glad.
Oh no,
the fence worked perfectly. It went right for the penis. You see what you get, Frank?
Well,
trying to break in and steal something, weren't you?
Well, there was other guys involved too. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it all right. Just as long as you had a gang.
I've done several things to arouse myself for the past week and a half, and no matter how hard I try, I cannot get an erection.
Well,
is that possible? Does that electrocution have anything to do with that?
Oh, of course it does.
No, that's God's wrath there, Drew.
Right. Just directly, without the electrocution. He would have had that anyway.
Let me tell you about the swift sword of justice the Almighty wields, Frank. He doesn't need any jury of your peers. He goes right to the penis.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes, Frank. There's no peels. There's no Rusty the bailiff. That's right. Little zap like a bug zapper, right to the schwanz.
But
that's how the Lord works.
Suggestions. What can I do for some treatment?
Repent. That's how you can get it fixed.
I'm not sure that there would necessarily be treatment, frankly. Usually if you're going to get nerve damage, it's usually associated with burn. And if there was no burn, and the burn tends to go to wherever there's sort of an extremity, that certainly could go there. Could go to the genitals, but you're not describing any kind of burn.
It's just a burn of the outline of the fence was on the side of my ribs.
Yeah, I understand.
By my gut.
I understand.
That's okay though.
I understand.
It wasn't. I don't think it's a bad burn. I just put some cream on it and sprayed some stuff on it.
Yeah, I understand.
For the stinging.
But it seems to me there's got to be somehow related to the electrocution. I suspect these kinds of things, without any kind of soft tissue injury, typically get better.
Well, it could be the emotional trauma.
It could be the trauma. But
I've done several things to arouse myself. I've been to a topless bar.
Frank.
Yeah.
If it's going to come back, it's going to come back in the next few weeks. If it doesn't, you really need to see a neurologist to see if there's anything else that needs to be evaluated or anything else that could be done.
I'm guessing God gave Frank's penis a sentence of maybe, could be 6 to 8. You never know.
It's going to take that long to get back.
But with good behavior, he may parole the penis early. Maybe put one of those homing collars around it and then have the, parole officer that the penis has to report to. He doesn't understand. That is God's wrath. I know I say I'm an atheist, but I do believe in the Lord in certain matters of the penis. When it has to do with electrical fence and a penis, all of a sudden I'm a believer. And I'm spreading
crime.
I'm spreading the good word, aren't I, Drew?
Yeah, you're doing quite a job.
All right. Mitchell, 29, you're on Loveline.
Hey, I got a question for Dr. Drew.
Yeah, Mitchell.
I've been with this girl for 5 years, and we're scheduled to get married this August 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to her I'd do anything to prove I loved her. And she's like, one day mentions, well, if you love me, and the only way I'll marry you is basically if I have sex with her best friend while she watches.
That's, Adam, that is
good.
No.
What?
That's beyond ridiculous.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I've been with her for 5 years, and I try to explain to her, and I mean, I'm 29, we're both professionals, but she insists.
All right. She's a professional nut job, Mitchell. You're not getting married yet? Yep. You haven't gotten married yet, have you?
No, not yet.
Okay, this is trouble. She wants to watch you have sex with her friend?
And take photos of
It's ridiculous. I wonder if she's like going to... That's just bizarre.
Well, it could be part of some sort of prenup or something.
Right, some kind of extortion routine here.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
So, something's wrong with her.
Well, I don't know, though. I've been with her for so long, and, she was married once before me, and she said her husband used to beat her, and I thought about it, and I talked to a psychiatrist at the school, and they said maybe this had something to do with it, some sort of aggression.
Well, it's a self-esteem thing.
It's more than that. I mean, when people are abused by, you said it was her father did this?
Her
yeah.
boyfriend.
Boyfriend. How about before that?
Yeah.
Her family.
I don't know. Her family wasn't the greatest to her mentally. Like, that's deprived her.
Okay, let me explain what's going on, Drew, since you seem to be fumbling, because Lord knows if it doesn't come out of an almanac, you're lost. I'm going to explain what this means in the street. She's used to abuse. That's all she knows.
That's right.
And what is the ultimate form of abuse for any couple? Watching your partner get it on with your best friend. I mean, that is a fate worse than death. That is worse than the belt your dad smacked you with. Wow, don't give me what. That's what it is.
It is, but it's...
She's inflicting abuse on herself. That's all she knows. She's using Mitchell and his junk and her good friend to inflict the ultimate abuse on herself.
It's too crazy, though, to think that she would think that up for herself. There's something missing here, that's why.
What's her friend look like, Mitchell?
Her friend's Latino.
Uh-huh.
I can't really describe her. She's got big boobies.
Okay, Mitchell, listen. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Listen, you just go good or bad. You know, I go, what's her friend look like? You good.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We don't have to get into scalp texture and whatnot. Okay, let us talk to her. Where
you
is
want to
she?
speak to her?
Yeah, let's straighten her out.
All right, hold on.
What's her name?
Hold on a second. Hold on.
We rarely get this, by the way. Most people don't have the phone number of their fiancé.
She won't. She's like, no.
Oh, okay. I spoke too soon. Come on, Mitchell.
She's right there.
All right, Mitchell, turn up the radio. Let me try something. Now,
Okay, turn up the radio.
There's going to be a delay here, so.
all right.
Okay.
And what should Mitchell do? Like cover the phone or something?
Right. Cover the party speaks
All
into.
right, Mitchell, try not to. Mitchell, sit down. Take your
Okay.
shoes off. What's
All
her
right.
name? What's her name?
Her name's Heather.
Okay. Heather. Wait a minute. Let me add some effect here. Heather. This is the voice of Adam Carolla calling from Loveline Radio. You have one chance at sanity. That is to pick up the phone that Mitchell hands you and talk to me and the doctor guy, and we will free you from the chains that bind you, the chains of insanity that bind your cerebellum. Am I right, Drew?
No.
Talk to him now.
All
I'm
right.
talking to you.
All right. See, it worked. See, a little reverb goes a long way. All right. Now listen, you honestly want to see Mitchell have sex with your best friend?
Yeah, I do.
Uh-huh.
Why?
Well, it's not just me. She wants to do it, too.
But why would you want to start a marriage that way?
Well, I don't know. She kind of talked me into it.
She talked you into it?
Yeah, she did.
All right, tell Bonehead to turn the radio down now.
Okay.
Okay. I know.
She has to tell him. He's only going to hear it in 6 seconds.
Well, no, I
There you go.
told her to tell him.
All right.
All right.
It's down.
All right, let's get to the bottom of this. What happened to you?
What do you mean?
Something happened to you that you would request this of Mitchell.
I don't know. I don't know.
What was your childhood like?
It was pretty bad.
What happened?
Just a lot of things.
Like what?
A lot of things I don't want to say.
Like what?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, let me take some guesses.
There are two guesses and both are right.
I'm going to start with abuse.
Yes, what
And-
kind?
Incestual abuse.
Yeah, sexual abuse.
Sexual abuse,
And what
yes.
else? Probably a little physical abuse also in there, I suspect.
Okay, well, I count sexual abuse as physical
All right,
abuse, Drew.
all right.
Okay, you're right.
Okay, all right. So the only kind of news you understand is bad news. I mean,
Or the only kind of relationship you understand is a bad relationship,
Yeah,
too.
pretty much all my relationships has gone downhill.
right, so you intentionally steer them off a cliff.
In fact, the fact that she wants so diligently to drive this one into the ground suggests that maybe Mitchell's not such a bad guy and this isn't such a bad relationship. But she can't tolerate that, so she has to find a way to sabotage it.
And the closer they get to the actual nuptials,
The more
the
impossible
more
it
she
is.
needs
Yeah.
to sabotage the relationship. All right, you understand what's happening now, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you?
You could be right. I don't know.
Don't make me go back to the reverb button. You know what's going on. You're sabotaging it, just like you sabotaged your last one. What'd you do in your last one?
Oh, my last one, he cheated on me.
Uh-huh.
So he was good. That was when
But
you,
it was with my best friend, though.
and that was a
Oh,
prior
what a
relationship
coincidence.
you stuck out like crazy, right? You kept going back for him.
Yeah, actually, I did.
So that's a good relationship for her.
All right.
That's one that she wants to continue in.
I'm belching up pancakes now, Drew.
But I didn't blame it on my friend at all.
Mitchell, I mean, what's her name? What's your name?
Sarah?
Sarah?
No, my name's Heather.
Oh,
Heather.
Heather. Heather, listen.
Did you put mustard on those pancakes?
I
What
just
is
belched-
that?
I just belch up some. No, you know what? I put mustard. I had a hamburger. I had spicy mustard on my hamburger. I just belched some hamburger juice up into Drew's face, and it hit the fan and went along the Gulf Stream there. All right, listen,
For pancakes to smell like that, my God.
Heather.
Uh-huh.
Heather, you understand what you're doing? You're sabotaging, right? Please understand what this impulse
okay.
is. All right, so instead of go get some. Do you really want to marry him? Do you really want a good relationship?
Yeah, I do.
All right, then don't sabotage it. Forget about this nonsense. of
Hang
him
in with it.
banging your
Realize
friend.
these instincts are very destructive. And any instinct you have to ruin this relationship or demean him in some way are really those old instincts to try to get back into relationships that are abusive.
Okay, and apologize to Mitchell for me because I know the guy feels bad. He was all revved up. All right, now we have Imperial Drag has just slid into the studio. Fresh on the heels of a heavy and sick relationship. Drew, don't belch into the mic. Roger Manning and Eric Dover, both from Imperial Drag. Hi, guys.
That was your belch, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I think it was a breakfast burrito.
Did you guys smell that mustard that came out of
I
me?
think it was trick burping.
I mean, I was expecting maple syrup or something, but no.
I forgot to say that I made myself a hamburger before I made the pancakes.
Before.
I do have, now I know I have an eating disorder.
You do have an eating disorder.
Yeah, okay.
Would you feel like puking right now, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to do that?
You probably will anyway.
All right, let's talk to Imperial Drag.
Yeah.
Hi, fellas.
Hello.
Hi.
Now, as I said on the air earlier, there's a friend of mine who's in your band, Eric Skodas. Well, I shouldn't call him a friend of mine, but I knew him from high school.
Yeah.
He was a weirdo back then.
He used to laugh at your jokes.
That's why I wanted him in tonight.
Something about you being the class clown, I don't know.
I was the class clown.
Oh.
I had to blow one of the judges in order to get the crown, but it was worth it. And I've made something of my class clown status. You know, let me say this. Many guys get the class clown status, and they go on and do nothing. They become doctors and lawyers and all that kind of crap, scientists.
But a fine living you've made, Adam.
Yeah.
Fine.
I love that Lucky Charms voice you use. All right, now you guys are going out on tour with Alanis Morissette May 31st, right?
For 3 weeks.
Yeah. Do you know her?
Not yet.
How was it arranged? Does she dig your scene, or is it just one of these
How was it
backroom
arranged?
deals?
Well, her father and my father said they planned the wedding.
They're from the old country?
Exactly.
And then the dowry was pretty insane too. Yeah.
Well,
no.
what I mean is I'm interested to know, because I hear about bands hooking up all the time, going out, opening for another band or what have you, and I always wondered, did she hear you and go, "Hey, I dig that," or did you hear her and go, "Hey, I dig her"? Or did the managers know each other?
I mean, we'll give you the skinny. I mean, basically, all the biz people, try to persuade her this would be a good idea, but at the end of the day, she hears the CD and goes, I think this is the new greatest thing ever, and she invited us on for 3 weeks.
Really?
Obviously we knew about her. I mean, we were fans already, but our record just came out 2 weeks ago, so.
So it's kind of flattering that then
Absolutely.
she digs you guys.
Absolutely.
And I guess you got to figure, are you guys going to be good for the kind of crowd that she draws? And I guess the answer is yes. Or no, the answer is we'll see.
We'll find out.
The answer is get ready to duck.
I'm not too worried.
All right, so you guys got tons of dates, and we're going to get to those dates, and we're probably going to play something off the CD, the self-titled CD, Imperial Drag, a little bit later on. But first, we'll just get to one more phone call before we break. Shauna, 20, you're on Loveline with Imperial Drag.
Oh, hi, everyone.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, I have a problem, of course. I have been put on oxygen, and it's hard to meet guys because they really don't understand, what it is and stuff.
What's the medical condition?
I have cystic fibrosis.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to be in a wheelchair if I'm going to walk anywhere.
Any distance.
Far.
Right.
And it's like guys really don't understand, and they won't even approach me or anything. And I'd say, I'm pretty cute and stuff, so
Shauna,
I don't know,
Shauna, let me explain something.
Huh?
It's just that they feel guilty, because when a guy goes up to a girl they don't know, they go up with the intent of trying to bone them, really.
Uh-huh.
And when they see you with the oxygen and the tubes and the wheels and everything, they feel badly.
No, they have compassion.
No, huh?
Yeah, they might actually feel something.
Well,
which already startles them.
They feel bad making a play for somebody who looks like they're, got
that they could hurt
Grim
them.
Reapers behind them.
That they could hurt them.
Right.
Okay.
But you know what, on a larger scale, American society deals with illness and death and dying and traumatic, injuries very poorly. I mean, people with illness are sort of put aside. You're not allowed. You can't be part of the mainstream. You're not. People don't accept you into the mainstream. It's ridiculous.
Well, what's cystic fibrosis? How bad is that?
It's a bad lung disease. It's a chronic progressive lung disease.
Yeah, I'm here to get a transplant.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Do they do one lung?
Heart, lung.
You have heart and lung?
You have a heart, lung, or just lung?
2 lungs.
Yeah, lung transplant.
Oh.
And I'm here from Ohio.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's like I'm totally out of my element.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm a person, a woman. I want to meet guys.
But Shauna,
I think
you got bigger fish to fry.
But I think no. I mean, she's a 20-year-old, and these are her concerns. You got to understand when people have chronic illness and they're young people. This is what they concern themselves with: is how they're going to continue their interpersonal relations, how they're going to be attractive to other people. Same concerns if you didn't have the medical illness. It's compounded by having that.
All right, but when do you know whether you have to wait for someone to get in a motorcycle accident before you get your lungs, or
pretty much.
You're on a beeper?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was standing by.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, how fast do they have to do it?
A few hours.
Yeah.
You probably are you near the hospital?
Yeah, I'm at THC.
Which city are you in?
Golden Valley.
We're in Los Angeles. Where are you?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that is just.
You never heard of that?
Well, I guess if I'd sat down and thought about it, I would have figured that's how it works. So, but let me just backtrack.
It's wonderful that you can get this, by the way. It can be tremendously successful.
You go near the facility that's going to do the operation, and you sort of hang in the vicinity.
Right.
You basically wait.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I basically live at a hospital.
Right.
Some guy gets in an accident, and they go, "We got a good set."
Right.
And they beep you, and they zip you over there,
and you go,
and they do it. And how successful is this usually, Drew?
This is more and more increasingly common procedure with increasing success. I mean, Shauna sounds like a great candidate for it. But let's get back to what Shauna has to deal with as an American with a chronic illness who really looks different. That's really what people react to.
Well, I look normal except for the hoses.
Right. I mean, she has intranasal. You know, you have canals going in your nose, right?
Right.
Right. All right. And can you come?
No other outside tube things.
All right,
Shauna.
I think if you could overcome the initial impact of the visual. What?
Hold, Drew.
Oh, you want to put it on hold?
Relax.
Okay. All right.
Look at us. We've been working together for 6 months.
You've never done
that. No
that.
idea. I know, but Shauna's a real interesting story,
right.
and so we're going to put Shauna on hold, and then poor guys from Imperial Drag come in here right when. So
we're ready for anything.
Wheelchair, and they got tubes and everything. But don't worry, we'll line up. Sherry, get some 15-year-old with some kind of shanker on his penis or something for the guys in the 11 o'clock hour.
Yes, please.
And we'll be back with more Imperial Drag and Shauna after this. Alrighty then. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. He's Dr. Drew. We have Roger and Eric, both from Imperial Drag. Poor guys came in here at the tail end of a pretty heavy call, and then walked right into the eye of the storm with who was it, Shauna? Yeah. So we're going to get back to Shauna. Now, we left Shauna. She has cystic fibrosis. She's in a wheelchair. She's at the Holiday Inn nearest to the hospital, and she basically has a pager, and she's waiting for some guy to buy it on a scooter so she can get in there and get those lungs. Shauna?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you an honest question.
Okay.
Are you putting a curse on anybody, or are you just waiting?
No.
Okay.
Not recently, anyways.
Can they do guy lungs?
Mm-hmm.
Guy lungs?
Dude lungs?
I guess. I don't know.
Do lungs vary in size that much? I mean, we had Pamela Anderson in here the other night. It wouldn't seem like that would match up with most women.
Those weren't her lung.
Those were. She bought those?
It's a lung job.
So, Shauna, in the interim, I mean, this could be tomorrow morning, or it could be a year from tomorrow morning, right?
Right. I've already been here a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been waiting that long.
Goddamn helmet laws.
Well, Shauna, I mean, you sound like a terrific person, and it really is just the issue of the people being so frightened by any of the trappings of a medical illness.
Yeah, right.
That if you could get past that and just get them to talk to you and connect with you as a person, and particularly with your you seem to be very assertive and seem to have a willingness to get to know people and get involved with other people. I think it would,
especially guys my age.
Yeah, I think it'd be very quick. It'd be very quick for you to sort of develop relationships, but I don't see it happening in a bar. I mean, you're going to have to.
No, I can't go to a bar.
Yeah, you're going to have to find ways of meeting friends and networking. Even if a small group of friends develops, you should be able to network through that, I would think.
And there's no problem with you and sex, right?
What do you mean?
No, there is no problem.
I can do it.
You should have to wear oxygen, but there's no problem. But
I could use a little of that oxygen sexually
I would think,
once in a while.
For instance, the hospital which you're on call to would have a support group for people that are potential transplants and whatnot.
Nope.
Or you must have a. Do they assign you to a general pediatrician?
Well,
or internist? I guess you're 20.
I'm at like a transitional hospital.
Right.
Which they go through the regular hospital.
I just think they must know some resources that you could connect up with and to meet people.
We tried that.
All right. Shauna.
Yes.
My guess is people see the wheelchair and they think no sex.
Probably.
You basically need to make up some kind of sweatshirt or something. It'll be subtle, but something that in effect essentially reads, "Don't be fooled by the wheelchair. I'm a woman." I mean, I can get down with the best of them.
Basically, they don't think I'm a person or something. I don't know.
That's how this country treats people with illness.
I don't know. So, Shauna.
Yeah.
You're basically just going to have to ride it out, pardon the pun, and what can we say?
No, keep slugging away. You're gonna. I have no doubt that if she keeps at it, she will connect with some people.
But here's the good news: if she does find a guy, she knows he's genuine, or the sickest bastard ever to walk the earth. Am I right, guys?
I would have to agree with that.
All right, so let's talk a little more about Imperial Drag. Okay. This is the CD. Yes, it's new. It came out 2 weeks ago. The kids are talking about it.
Some kids are.
You don't have to respond to that. I say it every time we have a musical guest in
I'm
here.
sure you do.
Kids can't get enough. They're eating it like candy.
Yeah.
And it's selling good and doing good. And you guys, after you go out with Alanis for a few weeks and basically show her the musical ropes, you'll be going out and doing your own thing, right?
That's right.
And we have some dates. We're going to play a song, actually, from that called Boy or a Girl. But let me give a few dates of where you're going to be. I'm not going to read the clubs and everything, but they're going to be in Portland, May 31st. I guess that's when you start the tour with Atlantis.
Correct.
Atlantis, Salt Lake City, Denver, Berkeley, Sacramento, June 12th, Santa Barbara, June 15th and 16th. Oh, Los Angeles. Oh, the Greek.
4 nights.
Beautiful. You guys ever played there?
I did once. In Jellyfish.
Oh, right.
I was a janitor there for a weekend.
I blew a guy in the parking lot. So we all have our own stories.
Minutes.
Drew, anything at the Greek?
No.
He had sex with a Greek guy once, though, and that's close enough.
The Great Greek Zorba?
He pulled the tunic right up. June 18th and 19th, I don't know where. June 20th, you'll be in Irvine. June 22nd, San Diego. And June 23rd in Phoenix at the America West Arena. Oh, where the Suns play. God, that's big
that's
time.
right, isn't it?
That's going to be great. I mean, you guys are going to be playing some huge venues.
Well, it's good in some ways and not so good in others.
Well, it's not so intimate.
Yeah.
And it's not why you got into music, because you got into to go right to the crowd. But
now, I want to ask you, why do you think we got into music, Adam?
To sell out.
Smacking hookers.
He just cuts to the chase.
Am I right?
Well, yeah, I think you are, actually.
All right, Roger, we are going to play a song from Imperial Drag called Boy or a Girl. The Imperial Drag, Boy or a Girl, off of the self-titled CD, Imperial Drag, and we'll be back after this.
Hey, how you doing? This is Darren from Goldfinger, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Mountain Dew. I mean, Dr. Drew. Oh, no, it's all I could come up with in short notice.
Goldfinger, love Goldfinger. Saw them at that Edge Fest in Minnesota last week. I didn't tell you, I was just talking to Eric a second ago about Iggy Pop, and a funny story comes to mind.
Was he there too?
No. What, Iggy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Iggy was there.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to bring Iggy out on stage.
Right.
And the way they had it is they had, like they do a lot of these festivals, they either have a revolving stage,
right.
so the other bands, so there's not 45 minutes between bands, or they sort of divide it in half.
Right.
They divided this one in half, and I was on the left side, and Iggy was getting all set up on the right side. And I'd come out on stage about, like 3 times too many by that point. He was the last guy of the night. Actually, Candlebox was, but it was getting late, and he was the second guy from the last. And I got out there, and I said to the stage manager, I said, listen, if Iggy's ready to go, tell me. And if he's not, tell me, because I'm not going to go out there like I did the last 5 times and go, ladies and gentlemen, Iggy Pop!
Nothing.
And nothing.
Crickets.
All right, so he said, "Oh, don't worry, he'll be ready to go." So I go out there and I yell, "My ladies and gentlemen, Iggy Pop," and Iggy's in his trailer doing God knows what.
Oh.
Okay, so I go back. Screw it, I'm never going out there again. And about 5 minutes later, the road manager or the stage manager grabs me again. He goes, "Listen, you got to get back out there because Iggy's ready to go now, and you got to bring Iggy Pop out." And I said, "I got hit with a frickin' Birkenstock the last time I was out there and a roll of nickels. I'm not going back out there." I sort of wore out my welcome. But they said, "Go back out there and bring out Iggy Pop." I said, "All right, I'm doing it, but I'm doing it on Iggy's mic, and I'm waiting until Iggy's like actually up on stage with me, so I know he's ready to go." So here comes Iggy with the entourage, with the rest of the band, and they're doing that like Spinal Tap thing. We're ready to go. They're pumped. They're like a fighter coming into Caesar's Palace, Iggy's throwing, he's got his shirt off, he's wearing his leather, and he's throwing punches in the air. And I come out there, and I hit the stage about the same time Iggy does, and I start to head toward the mic, and Iggy, all 130 pounds, and basically like knocks me over and grabs the mic and just goes right into it.
Oh.
So I basically made an ass of myself like two times within 5 minutes. That's all right.
Not setting any records for that either.
All right. But
this is Iggy Pop, and you're listening to Loveline.
Yeah, he was not that subdued, by the way, when he hit the stage, but he put on a good show, and I got the hell out of there. We're here with Imperial Drag. We're here with Eric and Roger, both from Imperial Drag, and they left my buddy Eric Skodas back at home. We've had 2 chances on this show to have people that I know on. One is when we had Mad TV, and there was like 5 cast members, and I knew 2 of them well from the old Groundlings comedy days. 3 of them came out, the 3 that I didn't know. And this time I said to the guy, bring Eric out, get Eric out here. I'd love to say hi to Eric again. Not that I don't love you 2, but
absolutely.
Let's face it, we didn't go to high school together.
Some rejection here.
No, you guys will do. Don't get me wrong.
You just can't bond with us the same way.
It's a good thing the lights are low. If you turn the lights on, it'd be a different story.
Well, we'll talk about we were going to talk about our gym days and stuff, but anyway, Imperial Drag is here. Screw Eric Skodas, and we're getting back to the phones. Dave, 16, you're on Loveline with Imperial Drag.
All right, how's it going, boys?
Hey.
Fine, thanks.
All right, I've got this problem, and it really sucks bad. All right, me and my girlfriend, we're sexually active, of course, and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes it just happens to be so where I just can't get myself up, like the general up. And she sometimes tries and tries and tries and whatever, and nothing will happen with me. But on the other hand, sometimes, I'll be like, well, let's go take a, half-hour break out of our day, And I just need a little bit of help or something. I don't know if there's something wrong with me or what.
All right, let me ask the guys in the band. Eric, any
How old are you
trouble this
again?
way?
What's
Dave,
that?
16.
16?
Yeah.
I would chalk it up to general fear. How long have you actually had sex? How long have you been
active?
Yeah.
About 6 months.
Yeah, you see, it's you that's one of those things you can't figure out in 6 months. It takes years, believe me. I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
How old are you, Eric?
I'm 29 and I'm married.
Adam practices by himself.
Yeah, that's the thing. I am like I'm like the military. I drill and I drill and I drill, and one day I hope to go into battle. But so far, I've seen limited action.
You're like the National Guard of sexual antics.
Yeah, I actually shot myself in the foot once just to get sent back home.
At least not your eye.
Out of it tonight. There's the Eric that isn't here. There's the Eric that is here.
Yes.
And I've been swapping him with Roger all night. Sorry, Roger.
I want to know if our caller exercises on a regular basis.
Well, I try to exercise with her. I did before.
No. Are you athletic?
Oh, yeah. I play baseball, whatever. I do the sports and stuff.
Smoke a lot of pot?
Huh?
Smoke a lot of pot?
I used to, but I kind of gave that up just because I want to have kids and I smoke my fair share of beaners and stuff.
Are you doing anything else?
Did LSD a couple times.
That's it?
Yeah.
Not drinking much?
No, not much.
Okay.
But see, that's the thing. I think that's what I gotta do before I.
No.
All right.
You got to learn to relax naturally.
Yeah, just anxiety, nervousness makes all that not
Yeah,
work.
man. I got finals coming up in school. You think that has anything?
That could have a lot to do with it. And,
All right,
and
dude, I
nervousness,
hope so, man.
concern that that the erection's not going to be there is enough to make it not be there.
Yeah. And let me give you some strategy, Dave. If it's not working, it's not working. It's like you ever watch the Olympics during the powerlifting? They do the now pardon the pun, they do the clean and jerk, right? And the guy gets all psyched up and he slaps the talc all over himself and he yells and he goes to the bar and he yanks. He gives it a good hard yank. He gets it up, but if he can't get it up, boom, he drops it and he walks away. That's what you have to do. You just got to drop it and walk away. If you can't get that thing over your head, you got to drop it and walk away because it's not going to happen.
But then she wants to kick my ass.
Well, then that's screwed.
Yeah,
I mean, she's got to be patient. I mean, if she likes you enough, she'll
That's
give
probably
you
the
time.
reason that you're having such trouble with this, is that she takes offense to it. You got to understand, you got to be sensitive to the fact that she believes that it's because of her you're having this problem, that she takes it as an offense that you somehow are not attracted to her, God knows what, that she is doing something to cause this. You need to reassure her, and she needs to reassure you that it's okay.
Drew, has this ever happened to you? Let me rephrase that. How many times has this happened to you?
Well, it happens. On average, it happens to almost all men at some time.
It happened to me once.
Yeah, at some time it happens to all.
And there was no rebounding. That was it. Soon as I got it into my skull that it wasn't going to happen, then from that point on, I felt like a paraplegic. I had no feeling from the waist down. As a matter of fact, my penis went from its normal, just sort of medium dangly thing to actually retracted. It actually came
sucked up into your body cavity.
Sucked up, yeah, I had to go. This is a visual, but I had to hold my nose and go just to get it to pop out. It actually went into hibernation like a turtle's head. It wasn't my penis. I had no feeling anymore. I could do nothing with it. It was someone else's penis at that time. And I was just...
So you were possessed by the spirit of someone else's penis.
Right, and I just sitting there praying that this guy would get a boner. But apparently this guy was getting surgery or something.
Watch a lot of movies about Vikings, Dave. Do something,
All right, Dave. Fantastic. Rhonda, 19, you're on the Loveline with Imperial Drag.
Hi.
Hey.
Well, being keepers of testosterone, I thought you could help me out.
All right.
I am in love with my best friend, and I have been for a couple of years now. And he knows this. He's known this for a long time. And he also knows I'm trying to get over him because he's engaged, and he wants my help writing his wedding vows. Well, so he knows I'm trying to get over him, but he's got this irritating subconscious thing going on where we'll be walking down the street, and all of a sudden he'll tell me how good he was in bed last night and how wonderful she enjoyed it. Or he'll bring out her sexy lingerie or the love letters he's writing to her, and he knows that I'm trying really hard to get over loving him because he knows I do.
Why do you consider this guy your best friend?
Well, he doesn't do it in a malicious kind of way.
You know what? There is nothing other than an abusive, malicious way to do things like this.
He's not.
No,
he
Rhonda,
doesn't mean to do
the
this.
kinder it appears, the more pernicious it is, the worse it is.
But see, he doesn't realize he's doing it.
Look, he does it.
When he goes and gets out her lingerie, he knows he's doing it.
Well, he's asking my opinion on whether or
Oh, please, Rhonda. You are so smitten and so blind that you're willing to forgive his every disgusting maneuver. He's rubbing this in your face.
He's really terribly abusive.
He is. And I called him on it, too. I says, you have hurt me enough, and that sucks. But he continues to do it, and
No. You continue to go back for more.
No.
Yes.
Well, he's my best friend.
I don't know why you consider him your best friend. This guy is not keeping your interest in mind when he does this stuff. Best friends should be concerned about their friends' feelings.
Did you ever have anything physical with him, Rhonda? Yes. Okay. I see.
What do you see?
Oh.
He sees something that the rest of us don't. But...
Look, the guy's horribly insecure.
Yes,
that's really what it is. He's terribly insecure.
He's told me that he likes the fact that I can get jealous and that it makes him feel good.
Could you imagine being this guy's fiancé, and here you guys are planning the wedding, and you're picking
what's really funny is
China patterns and whatnot. Hold on, Rhonda. And this guy is basically, essentially flirting with some girl he had some months prior to getting together with you.
Can I say that?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because she's halfway across the country, too.
She's what?
She's halfway across the country.
How old is this idiot?
Flirting with disaster here.
20.
All right. This guy's an idiot. He's too young to get married.
This guy's an asshole.
That's more like it.
He's not an asshole.
Yes, he is.
I will take offense to that.
Roger, is he an asshole?
Oh, hands down.
Yeah, Eric?
It's easy.
No, I just think he's really insecure.
All right.
I think that's it.
But he's acting like an asshole, and that's enough for us to label him an asshole.
He's not cognizant of what he's...
So what do I do?
Well, you are basically an assette. You are hanging out...
Thank you.
Well, come on, Rhonda. This guy's an idiot.
It's operating out of, like, reflex.
Yes. Rhonda.
Yeah.
Go find yourself a new best friend to abuse you.
Okay.
Or a genuine relationship. A guy that can actually take care of your needs.
Oh.
Well, imagine that. Imagine that.
Well, Rhonda, the only reason you're with this guy is because you think there's an outside chance you may get together again, and it's not going to happen.
Either that or she needs those kinds of abusive relationships where it's just constant abuse and never really what she wants. Never true intimacy.
Kind of like you, Drew.
You and me?
Wow. Yeah, you know what you're going to get when you come in here.
That's true, abuse.
Yeah,
Keep coming in.
But you enjoy it in your own sick way, don't you?
I must. I wouldn't be coming here.
All right. Well, we're going to get to the bottom of Drew's need to be spanked, and a little more from Imperial Drag after this. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the phone number. I'm Adam Carolla. He's Dr. Drew. We're here with Imperial Drag. That would be Eric and Roger. And the fax number, 310-854-4455. Faxes like this one my colleague's about to read.
Yes, this looks like it came from Jessica in Northern California. My boyfriend was diagnosed with AML. It's leukemia. It's medical night tonight. 8 years ago, he went into remission for 6 years, but he came back. They give him some chemotherapy, and he smokes pot. And her question is, he used to smoke pot quite a bit, stopped after learning about the cancer, takes a joint once in a while with his friends. Will this harm him? No, it won't, at least in terms of its impact on the cancer. Also, what is the survival rate for this type of cancer and with this treatment? Probably 20% cure rate, and I would suggest that I'm assuming they're sort of staging him for a bone marrow transplant, because that's sort of typically what's done for AML patients.
20%?
Cure. But like 80% response. So it's a very treatable kind of cancer.
What do you mean? So you mean you can
live 5 years and die. That's not a cure.
Right.
That's a response. If you didn't take treatment, you'd be dead quick. So
okay. So
it looks good for AML is a treatable disease.
But all right. Should the guy be shopping for houses or not?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It is kind of a heavy night here. A lot of death.
It's pretty heavy.
A lot of organs being transplanted. We were talking about this about a half hour ago, actually, with the girl with the cystic fibrosis. And I was saying that I want to get on a list.
Just sign up.
I want the lung list. I want the liver list.
Need a kidney.
Kidney. Is there brain? Can I get a brain?
I was just thinking how we could do that.
Can we do that?
Would that be nice?
I know I'd probably miss a couple of shows, but it'd probably be worth it. I mean, for the ratings.
Yeah, maybe for my comfort level.
Yeah, actually, I think the program director would like me to have a transplant with a 14-year-old from Orange County.
Oh, no, then we just have the poor man back.
Wait a minute, what's he doing? I could get his brain. And he could use mine and go off and do carpentry. Okay. All right, we'll be back in 10 seconds. Well, more Loveline with Imperial Drag. That would be Eric Dover and Roger Manning, who've been nice enough to come in here and plug the hell out of their dates.
Oh, yeah, the dates.
Plug.
Going out with Alanis Morissette for 3 weeks and then doing their own thing after that. Yeah. And you'll be around, you'll be touring, doing your own thing, too. I'm guessing slightly smaller venues.
In the summertime, we'll probably do clubs around.
You'll be in L.A.?
Sure.
Yeah.
And all over.
Why not?
All right, so go find... well, here's what I'm saying. If you can't find them with Alanis Morissette, then find them the second time around when they come through, which will be not too much later after the first time they came
July
around.
and August.
Yeah, and more local clubs, better clubs, smaller clubs, and you can find them. We're going to play another song in a little bit, but we're not going to get to that yet because we're going to get to the phones. Jimmy, 14, you're on Loveline with Imperial Drag.
Yeah. First of all, Adam, do you like it when fans just call up and totally kiss your ass?
I don't know. We don't get much of that.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
Adam, you're God. You make my world go round.
Listen, if I was God, I'd make my penis larger.
Yeah, I probably do too. But I called in because I have a question for Dr. Drew.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah. Maybe a year or two ago, I noticed my nipples, they got a little bit bigger, and they started well, first it was just one, and it just like got a little bigger, and it started hurting a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it lasted for like 2 weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. And then it was fine. It just went away, and I didn't think of anything of it. And just a couple weeks ago.
Came back.
Oh, no. It's my friend had the same thing.
Right.
Told me that.
Whoa.
Oh.
You there? Wait, Jimmy?
Yeah.
All right. The deal is, when you hit puberty, there tends to be an excessive amount of estrogen produced by the adrenal glands. And so you actually get breast enlargement. You're getting what's called gynecomastia. And 12 to 14-year-olds typically get that. And a way you can really enhance that, the way it can be made worse, is smoke a bunch of pot. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, Drew. I don't buy that.
Oh, that is true.
Oh,
that is
come
true.
on! I grew up with guys who basically hooked themselves up to a THC intravenous every morning, and they never had any.
People would not exactly be talking about that. They tend to hide it.
No, but I felt that my friends up, and there was nothing there. I'll tell you what pot does. It makes your boxer shorts hang out of the back of your. I don't know if it makes your underwear right up higher, or your pants go down lower, but somewhere.
Spicoli syndrome.
Yeah, right. Your shorts hang out, but I don't. Spicoli didn't have big breasts, did he? All right, you did masturbate to that scene? I'm taking that as a yes. Jimmy?
Yeah,
you get that lump in your nipple. I had that too.
It's normal.
Yeah. It's okay now, but what surprised me is like a lot of people had it.
It's normal. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Jimmy, you're Johnny Average. All right?
All right, that's good.
Fantastic.
It gets worse if you smoke pot, believe me.
You know, it's kind of weird. I just noticed when you're like 13 or 11 or kind of young teen, 14, you worry a ton about what's normal.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
If anything happens,
because nobody tells you about it.
If you lost your leg in a mower accident, you would pray that everyone else in your block lost their leg too in a mower accident.
That's right.
But then something happens when you get into your late teens where all of a sudden you got to be different than everybody. And then you get into your 20s and everybody's got to be different.
Right.
So there's this point when it's real important to be exactly like everyone else, and then it's real important to define yourself. The only problem with that is everyone else is defining themselves by doing the same stupid crap you're doing, and then you basically just fall into a big bunch of idiots. Right. No, I'm serious.
Welcome to the human race.
Right.
God love them.
I'm going to define myself because I'm going to get my my schwanz pierced. Well, good. So everyone else got their schwanz pierced. Now, how did you define yourself? Drew?
I didn't get my schwanz pierced.
You didn't?
No.
Prove it.
No.
Okay. Guys?
Yeah.
We have not had ours pierced.
No?
But they get the hair coloring in, so that's supplanted that.
No,
And I do have the pants hanging down thing going.
Yeah, but that's that kind of, I mean, those are sort of hip huggers, right? Those are supposed to hang low.
I thought it was from smoking too much pot.
Oh.
Let's go on.
What, Drew? This is an open forum where people can talk about their problems and make fools of themselves on a national
I have
level.
no problem with it.
Yeah, you smoke a little pot once in a while, right?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Roger?
He smoked so much pot he used to lactate.
Right. That's right.
I was going to ask questions about discharge.
That's right.
Really?
Adam, see?
What?
That's what you get if you smoke a lot of pot. You get breast enlargement and discharge. You get
That is true.
lactation.
When I was 12 or 13, the same thing happened.
Exactly.
Except there was a discharge.
Adam, vindication. Thank you.
Eric, you gave? I mean...
I gave. I didn't give what appeared to be milk. It was more of a
clear liquid.
Yeah, and it freaked me out very badly.
Wow. And was that from smoking pot?
No, I'd never smoked pot. Not then, anyway.
So, Drew, what are you getting at?
Now, wait a minute. It wasn't from smoking pot?
No, I never smoked pot until I was 18 or 19 years old.
So, lactation was from the smack?
No, it was from puberty.
Oh, okay.
You usually don't lactate, but it's possible.
Oh,
we'll talk about this after the show.
Wait a minute. McGruff, the pot-sniffing crime dog.
No, I would worry that there was some thyroid problem or something else that does that in addition to the breast enlargement. Did you have a thyroid problem?
I never, I never went to the doctor and had
Okay.
a check. No.
Fine.
You see, that's why we're here, because you were a little embarrassed,
I
right?
want you. Actually, I was hoping we could make up a list of all the problems, and then I could have.
All right, where else
address.
did sap come out of your body?
Well.
You're like a maple tree over there.
That's right.
Anything sticky come out of the
You were
lawn?
talking about pancakes earlier at the IHOP?
Yes. Pure maple syrup. Put a spigot on it. Patrick, 17, you're on Loveline with Imperial Drag. Hey.
Hey, I kind of have a problem about it's kind of like for Dr. Drew, though.
But I mean, you can jump in if you got ideas, but
you don't have to ask them to jump in.
But basically, it's like this. My girlfriend's a virgin, and like she has like this family that's very fertile, and she still trips off like if she has a kid, if she will have a kid or not, if she uses birth control and we use a condom.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to know if there's still like a good chance that she can get pregnant.
Both the oral contraceptive pill and a condom.
Mm-hmm.
Virtually zero.
She's listening right now.
Virtually zero.
Yeah,
I mean, it is zero. I mean, it's like, an asteroid would be more likely to land in your backyard.
And if you have that kid, he's going to be the chosen one. I mean, look at it that way.
Because
I would.
It'll be a shaft of light we'll have to visit it, and not this gentleman.
Some kind of shaft is going to have to visit somewhere. I mean, if she's on the pill and you're using a condom and she comes up pregnant, keep the kid, because this kid's going to come up the cure to cancer. Am I right?
Yeah.
Disprove Einstein's theories and all that.
However, Patrick, what she is telling you is...
I did that earlier in the week.
What she is telling you, in her own way, is that she is not ready to have sex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she is not ready. Okay, she is.
I mean, I think she's ready.
No, she is not ready.
You thought she was ready when she was 12 too, Patrick.
If she's that anxious, if that's what she's focused on about something that is really ridiculous, it's because she's either unwilling to admit to herself or to you that what she's really anxious about is having sex at all, and she's uncomfortable with it.
Okay, Drew, I'm going to take a counterpoint here.
All right, go ahead.
Guys, back me up on this one.
Maybe.
No matter where I go.
Okay.
She has she's a teenager.
Yep.
She's uninformed, as are a lot of the teenagers out there, hence the show Loveline.
Mm-hmm.
Her whole family, cousins and aunts and whatnot, are putting these litters of kids out, and she's nervous. She's no doctor. She's no birth control expert. She doesn't know what to believe. She thinks there's some sort of family curse, and that's what it is.
It's possible that's the case, but I think it's that she's uncomfortable with the whole situation. Okay?
All right, thanks a lot.
All right.
Let me ask you a question. First off, I'm going to call Eric Roger and Roger Eric again. But Eric, how old were you when you lost your virginity?
14.
14.
Yes, and I don't think I would call it losing my virginity. It was a fiasco, the whole thing.
But technically, you lost it.
You talked about this last time you were on here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Did you go outside the family? Or?
No, I stayed inside the family. The comfort zone is
Hence
much
the fiasco.
And what happened? Did you drip a little sap on her?
She was a huge Janis Joplin fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're like her Bobby McGee.
She wound up being a softball player in college, if you know what I mean.
Turned lesbo on you, huh? You ever get the feeling that maybe, not that you sent her hurtling toward lesbianism, but you gave her a little kickstart?
I think I probably goaded her in that direction.
Had you been a little better?
Oh yeah.
Had you not?
I was scared to death.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were were you her first experience?
And then I was, well, we won't go into that either. I was her first? No, I think I was her 32nd.
Oh, really?
She was 13.
So all right, so you can't take the blame.
Sure.
All right, so you did cause her to go into lesbianism.
No, I think she had outside influences.
Okay.
Other softball players and things of that nature.
Organized sports. Nothing gets a woman to like another woman faster in the organized sports. Roger? Wait a minute.
My age?
Yes.
19.
Huh? Is that when you lost it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was one of the oddballs.
So you're saving yourself?
No.
No. I was just being polite. You were trying to get rid of it since you were 14.
Thank you.
But no one would have you.
No, actually, I found out later that lots of people would have me, but I wasn't aggressive enough.
All right, but we've all heard that sob story. Everyone's real nice. I know how that works. I talked to plenty of women I went to high school with, like at the reunion and stuff, like the 10-year reunion. Oh yeah, I would have taken you.
Right. Oh, Adam. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure, I would have taken. They're lying. They wouldn't have had you.
Okay. Well, no, this was guy talk. This wasn't from girls.
Oh, wait a minute. Now I'm getting confused.
Guys overhearing girls or hearing from girls?
No, guys. Girls telling guys that if I had only asked, it would have been there ripe for the picking.
Drew, do you know what's going on here?
We're going to the next call.
Oh, okay.
That's a good idea.
It's too hairy.
Wait, I do have to add though. Although it was at the age of 19, she had a mohawk, so I win.
Really?
Yeah.
You want a little like punk rock? And mohawk downstairs or upstairs?
Both.
Wow.
What kind of mousse do you use for?
Brittany's for a downstairs mohawk?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Brittany, 17, you're on Loveline.
Yeah, I really don't have a problem. This is more directed to Eric and Roger.
Oh, good.
Just wanted to say you have humongous fans down here. Like, me and my friend have been following you guys since Jellyfish.
Oh, thank
Wow,
you.
and where are you located?
Thousand Oaks.
Right on.
Oh, yeah, next to Ojai, where you live, Roger.
Thank you.
And we kind of have this obsession with you, Roger. We've named our band after you. We've, like, written songs about you. You're just, like, everywhere. It's like Roger this and Roger that.
What's the name of the group?
Huh?
What's the name of your band?
Roger's Pinwheel.
Oh. Roger's Pinwheel?
Roger's Pinwheel.
You guys playing out?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the area.
Well, you didn't want to start a group called Eric's Sappy Nipples?
Well, it just started like that, but it didn't ring very well. But no, it's kind of a weird thing, but it's a big obsession thing. And everybody knows, oh, those are those girls, and everybody's asking, who's Roger? Who's Roger? I'm like, oh, this guy from Jellyfish. And everybody's like, who the hell is that? But it's just like our thing.
Now, why did you pick up on Roger? I mean,
Look at him. Okay, you're with him right now.
I'm the one who most resembles Yoko Ono in the band. So.
I'm looking at him. He's all right, but huh?
He's got this whole thing about him. It's like unexplainable.
Adam missed it.
Oh, seriously, stand up for a second.
I'm a 5'6" dynamo.
Yeah, turn around.
You didn't
for a
see my
second.
shirt, did you?
Oh,
in fact, I thought Drew was going to comment on my shirt.
Hug therapist.
Yeah, we were doing a theme.
What does that
beautiful. I can't tell. You got
it was the jellyfish like
hugging
chokers and like belly
hugging.
button like high shirts and like
Oh, the
bell
Bobby
bottoms.
Sherman look I was sporting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always thought it was a little more David Cassidy, but all right. Yeah, he's cute. I'd do him.
He's just like way beyond everything. And just wanted to let you know that there's people out here who have this extremely big thing about you, and it's.
Well, although I'm in a band and I play in front of a lot of people on a regular basis, it's good to actually hear that somebody.
Oh, it's not even like you're a big rock
thank
star.
you.
And
Hey, Brittany.
What
about shifting a little focus over to the good folks at Loveline?
Oh yeah.
What about me? I'm in here 2 hours a night busting my ass.
You guys rule for having Roger and Eric on there.
Oh, for Christ's
There you
sake.
go. Guilt
Just
by
wanted to
association.
say that congratulations on your marriage, Eric,
Oh, thank you very much.
and happy birthday to Roger.
Thank you.
Except it's kind of late, and that Tim says hi.
Okay.
All right. You done?
Sure.
You sure you don't have any love problems?
Unless you call it that, no.
I'd call. I think she has just sort of an overall problem, but. Well, wait a minute. When was your birthday? Because I just had my birthday.
27th.
Oh, mine was May 27th.
Are we soul brothers?
We certainly are. That's weird. That was on.
You're talking
what
about
was
keeping
that?
it in the family?
Monday. Yeah. Wow. Gemini, right?
That's right.
No, he's
I
up
knew
more
it.
than 27. He's not Gemini.
You know, Ann got me tremendous boob cake. You didn't get any kind of boob cake, did you?
Who gave you boob cake?
Producer.
Is that a figure of speech?
No, producer Ann went to this. Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody, including
Producer Ann-
engineer Mike.
Producer Ann
For
did the full
Christ's
legwork, though.
The whole Loveline behind the scenes. Engineer Mike, Sherry,
And me.
Lisa. Oh, and you.
Yeah.
Was it like a mono boob?
All
Was
right,
it just one big
look,
boob as a cake? Or?
Everybody but me chipped in to get me this cake that essentially was done by, those professional porno cake builders.
Right.
2 big boobs. It looked like that power station out in San Onofre or wherever that is.
On the way down to San Diego?
Right. 2 huge, well, on the way down to Mexico for me, but I guess, yeah, you go through San Diego. Tijuana to be more exact, but 2 big jugs on there, and they like spray painted it, and they had, I hated to eat it. I mean, it was mixed emotions.
How was the maple syrup?
Smoke issuing from the nipples.
Oh yes,
Something
it was
like a reactor.
It was an awesome, my best birthday ever. Well, okay. I didn't get any sex, but Ann, I hear, is going to put up a little around Christmas time, so we'll remedy that. Okay, so now we have a song called "The Man in the Moon." You guys want to say something real quick about that before we play it?
No, just close your eyes and drift off into space.
The Man in the Moon. That is Imperial Drag's latest off of their latest CD, Imperial Drag, and we'll be back with more Imperial Drag after this.
Hi, this is Bush. You listen to Lovelines.
Hey, Engineer Mike. What the hell's going on in there? Is that it? Really? All right. I just saw you shaking your head, Mike. I thought you'd spilt some of your bromoseltzer or something on the board. All right, let me get the phone number. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the phone number. Fax number 310-854-4455. We're sitting here with Imperial Drag. That would be Eric and Roger. Both nice guys. Look at them. They come in here. They behave. They look nice. So far, no farting as far as I can tell.
Not until we leave the station, actually.
Very good. Very good. And I may have another honey mustard belch coming up, Drew, so you may want to poise yourself for that.
You've got some delightful scents coming out of you without the belching.
Thank you very much. Back to the phones we go. Jeff, 18, you are on Loveline with Imperial Drag.
Hi. I got a question for Dr. Drew.
Yeah?
I go to school in a small town, and so far I've been able to fool people I'm homosexual, and it's quite dangerous where I live.
Really?
And
I mean, if people found out you were gay.
yes, they
Wow.
well, people are starting to think now because I've started to hang out with a crowd that is homosexual, and I've had my friends are defending me, and I feel really bad because I'm lying to my friends, and I've had threats, and I'm just
It seems to
humiliated
me,
every day at school.
look, it seems to me in the interest of prudence, you ought to keep lying.
Got to keep lying.
I mean, wouldn't you guys say? I mean, if it means your safety.
I've been doing it for years.
Until he can move out.
Yeah, I mean, until you can get out of there. And if you can still have relationships with other gay people, which is great, and still can maintain the appearance of not, if that is what's necessary for your safety.
Well, let me ask a few important questions now, Jeff. First off, where are you calling from?
Oregon.
Or really? I thought, well, I guess it depends what part of Oregon you're calling from, because they can go from
Packwood to
Packin Fudge?
No.
No.
Senator Packwood.
Oh yeah, all right, Bob Packwood. Right. Oh, he's from Oregon.
Right.
Oh, he's felt up everyone in Oregon. Jeff, did Packwood ever put his thumb in your ass? No?
No, I'm just
You're
saying.
one of the few. All right, sit down.
That they have conservative trends there. That.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's
I
great.
didn't intend to trigger that little flurry.
Alcoholic congressmen can molest everybody, but they're still very conservative over there in Oregon. All right, Jeff, let me ask you a question. Two questions. First off, you said there's a gay crowd.
Well, not in the town.
Where would the gay crowd be?
Well, I met him working, and he lived in another town, and he's quite a bit older than me, and he was starting to introduce me to some of the gay community around my area.
But not in your town.
No, so far as I know, there's nobody that's came out to me. And
Really?
I figured if I started.
Well, wait a minute. Let me ask you a question.
But then you've never come out to anybody else either, because it's such.
I got to ask a mathematical question here, Jeff. If you're the only gay guy in town, who are you getting it on with?
Nobody.
Oh, so you still is your behind intact?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I exercise it regularly.
So you've never had a physical experience with another man?
Not with a man. I have with a female.
All right. So Jeff, you're not homo.
But he is homo.
He's half mo, maybe.
He's on his way.
Maybe half mo.
He's intending full mo.
All right. He's on. Okay, but Jeff, you don't know. Maybe you're not going to like it. Believe me, I could change your mind about men. 5 minutes in the broom closet with Adam, you'd be running for the broads. Jeff, you've never been with a man.
No, I haven't.
Adam, before you had been with a woman, did you know you were heterosexual?
I had some notions
Okay,
about it.
all right.
But the jury's still out. Let me tell you.
I understand that, but
been
Jeff
so long.
Jeff is in about the same position right now. Okay.
All right, Jeff. All right. So you've decided on men, even though you've not taken one for a test ride.
He is clear that that's what he's attracted to.
Okay. So you got to get out of that little crappy town.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Harder said than done.
But don't. Yeah, I'm with Drew. Don't say anything. There's no reason to come out of the closet when you haven't even had an experience anyway. I mean, this is a hypothetical closet you're in.
Stop going back to that. If he wants to assert himself clearly to his peers and to his friends so they can understand him better, really accept him more as who he is and how he sees himself, that's understandable. But if it means your safety, there's no point in it. You're just buying time so you can get out of there.
Okay.
All right?
There are a lot of ignorant people out there.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Jeff?
Okay, thanks.
All right, stay in a little longer.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'll meet you there. Okay. Ever beat up any fags?
Yeah, with my long, prissy hair.
Yeah, Roger, you look like the kind of guy who'd kick a little gay ass every once in a while.
I mean, it's hard for me to even joke about that, actually. I mean, that's like, I can't believe people sometimes. I mean, I feel for this guy. I mean, he's like trapped in this small community, and he just wants to be himself.
Well, you know what I think it is? I think there's a certain segment of society that just has to pick on people that are different. Mm-hmm. And it took us a while to sort of wean them off I mean, not that they're completely off the blacks or the Hispanics or whatever, but we've sort of weaned them a little bit off of that. I mean, certainly since more than it was like in the 50s and stuff like that. Now they've gone, well, we got to stomp ass, so let's look around. Hey, look at that homo over there. Let's go get him. And eventually, hopefully we'll wean them off the gay community and on to some other community.
It's like low human nature mandates that you have to have an enemy always.
Right. There's at least 3% of the white male population must kick somebody's ass at all times. And I think in Oregon it may be as high as 7 or 8%.
There you go.
Right. So it's no longer cool to beat up on people who are different colors. We'll just move on to the gay community. Jacob, 18, you're on Loveline with Imperial Drag.
Hi there.
Hey.
All right. Well, I got one quick comment real quick before I get going. Dr. Drew, what exactly are you a doctor of? Because I've heard about 1 million people come at you with 1 million different problems.
I'm a general internist.
But
I run a department of medicine at a psychiatric hospital, and I run their addiction services. So
okay. Because I've just heard people come at you from all different angles, and there's a connection.
There's a connection.
And Adam, you deserve a PhD. I just don't know in what. I just know you deserve one.
I should get just a sort of general one.
Yeah.
And we're waiting
PhD
to have
of Loveline or whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to go down to one of the local junior college. You know, all the work I've done on their behalf over the months.
I just think it'd be just like the Wizard of Oz. They just give you the Doctor of Thinkology, and that's it.
Definitely.
If I only had a nard.
Thank you, Beavis.
Hey, I was saying nards long before those two on MTV. All right, Jacob, what's your question?
Well, no, okay. My girlfriend, who we've been fine we've only been going out for 3 months now. Actually, it's almost 4. And we've been fine for that time, but she's growing more and more insecure. I mean, she's never really been. She's never had high self-esteem. She's always kind of fallen in with the wrong guys, and she's told me that finally she's glad that she fell for somebody else, because I guess I don't classify as a bad type of guy when it comes to her opinion. And we have a lot of mutual friends. I mean, most of our friends. I mean, most of our friends are mutual friends. And so whenever I'm talking to a girl that is a mutual friend, she thinks I'm flirting when really, I mean, I don't even think about that. I don't consider it actual technical flirting.
All right, you're clean.
Yeah.
We got that. All right. She has a little self-esteem problem.
And though she probably has difficulty sustaining this kind of a relationship, and so she has to find something that she can attack and potentially dismantle this relationship through.
I hope not, but...
Well, that's what your instincts are going to be.
Yeah, because, I know she had a boyfriend a little while ago, and she walked into her room, and her best friend and him were going at it, and they were in there for... Not going at it, I mean, they were
And that's actually more the kind of relationship she's probably comfortable with. She has sought those out constantly. Now she's got somebody who actually is willing to offer her true intimacy, and it is going to get her in touch with some very heavy feelings that she's not going to be comfortable with.
So I think it's do you think it would be overcomable?
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell for a given individual. But
yeah, but here's the deal. It has to do with her more than Jacob, because we get these calls all the time. The guy says, what if I told her this? What if I promised her that? What if I didn't talk to any of her friends? What if I this? What if I that? But when you're that way, you're that way. It's her deal.
You can't change your true human nature. You know, if your nature is to flirt with someone, then you should be allowed to do it. I mean, without leading them on to something. If your nature is to be friendly.
But that isn't even his. She's perceiving it. She's projecting all this on him.
Right. Yeah. She's laying a lot of guilt on him.
She's insecure.
Yeah.
And she'll always be insecure. And it doesn't matter who he talks to. It's not his activity that he needs to curtail. She's the one who needs to get a little bit of help. I don't want to sound like we're picking on her, but Jacob sounds like a decent enough guy, and frankly, it didn't sound like he posed much of a sexual threat. I just got that vibe. I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but he He sounded like a safe
nice
enough guy and a
Yeah.
sincere enough guy. And it's she that needs to do the work.
Yeah.
Well,
You guys with me?
In touch with all that stuff.
And maybe him for picking somebody like that.
Oh, yeah, he screwed up for picking her, but that's a whole nother show, isn't it, Drew? All right, back with more Imperial Drag after this. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191, 1-800-568-3191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew. They are Imperial Drag. That would be Eric Dover and Roger Manning, both nice enough to come in here and talk to us tonight on Loveline. They're going out on tour starting Friday, playing with Alanis, who hand-picked Imperial Drag.
That's what we were told.
Now, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but could she have picked you guys because you were so horrible that...
would it make her look good?
Right. She didn't want anyone to come out like I used to do stand-up. God forbid some guy'd come up and tear up the room, and then I'd have to go up. I was always hoping the guy, bombed out there before I went out there.
Well, actually, the truth of the matter is, and I'm going to be a guy for a second here, I think she's got the hots for one of us. Yeah.
She's not named her band after you, though, has she, Roger?
No, she's not. Alanis Morissette featuring Roger's Pinwheel. Yeah.
I got a feeling she could kick all of our asses. So,
have you had a chance to hang out with her?
Not yet.
No.
Looking forward to doing yoga with her.
Oh, she do that?
We're gonna make her.
You know what I mean? I mean, she's good in the bed. You know, she can do that lotus thing where she can crank her foot up over behind her head,
thus allowing
deeper stuff. You know,
Drew, could you help us out on this one?
No.
Hey, Drew, don't be so uptight. Be stuck up, Drew. We're having a good time here. All right, we're going back to the phones. Amanda, 18, you're on Loveline with Imperial Drag.
Hi, hey, Imperial Drag. Your concert on Friday night, I'm there, dude.
Right on.
In Portland, Oregon.
We'll see you there.
Yeah.
You got your tickets?
Yeah, I got my tickets. They sold out in within like 5 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, come up and say hi afterwards.
Your first concert. Yeah, like they're gonna let me up there, dude.
No, we'll hang out outside by the, look for the crappy little rental van.
Yeah, near the
Crappy
Coke
little
machine.
rental van. All right, I'm gonna be there with 4 of my girls.
Bring your
Okay.
posse.
Yes, bring your bitch farm.
Yeah, but this is my bitch farm. That's right. We're all coming out. We're gonna fucking party, and we're going dancing afterwards. You gotta come dancing with us.
What's your love question?
My love question. Okay, I've got a boyfriend, right? Which that doesn't matter if you guys are gonna be there. And I know that sounds rude, but you're only gonna be in town for one night. Anyways, I've got a boyfriend, and he's really cool and stuff. And it's not like we're totally committed to each other, but we're just really cool with each other, right? Well, we're supposed to be totally committed to each other. Well,
It's the 90s.
yeah, it's
She
the 90s,
is
exactly.
not
And
committed.
I like
Amanda's not committed, right?
Amanda's not totally committed to sanity either, but go ahead,
I'm
Amanda.
totally committed to sanity, dude. Yeah, I do stuff with my girlfriend. And I want to tell my boyfriend that I do stuff with my girlfriend because I want him to be a part of it.
Right.
So what do I do? How do I tell him?
Hold on a second.
Hi, I like to have sexual relationships with my girlfriend. Do you want to join us?
That'll do.
First of all, knowing him, do you think that's going to bum him out, or do you think that he would be able to handle that?
I think at first he'd think it was totally cool, but I don't know if he'd go for it because he'd think of it as cheating.
Right. Well, every time I listen to Loveline and this question comes on, it's basically the old, it's exciting at first, but then people's feelings ultimately get hurt. And this is where I hand it over to Drew and Adam.
Yeah, but Roger, don't feel like you have to work the party line here. You tell us exactly what you feel. I mean, you hear us talking about that, and we talk about that when people are talking about fiancés and husbands and wives and stuff like that. But if you're 18 and Amanda,
we'll see what it is.
Amanda, you're kind of nuts, right?
No, we'll see.
You're
it's
free
like a
spirit.
double life kind of thing.
The what?
It's like I go to college and I'm a really good girl, and he's like my good girl boyfriend, But it's like then I go out on the weekends and stuff and say, "Oh, honey, I'll see you tomorrow," And then I have my bad girl life.
Okay,
And I go home with my girlfriend
Amanda,
and I
please. All right. I'm putting her on hold because she can't relax. She's obviously a coffee achiever. I'm guessing junior college is where she goes, but we'll find out whether I'm right or wrong in a few seconds. We put Amanda on hold. Here's what I'm saying. Amanda has no intentions of marrying this young chap.
Right.
And this chap if he knows what's good for him, or he's listening to the show, should have no intention of marrying Amanda. This is a young, fun relationship.
Right.
Now, Drew is conservative as he may appear to be, does not necessarily snub his nose at this type of thing when it's a fun relationship.
Right, a lot of people are careful with their sexually transmitted diseases and whatnot.
Right, you put on a condom, go to town. We give this advice to people who are getting married, who are already married, saying if you really care about the relationship, this may screw it up.
If they don't want to get hurt as a result of the relationship falling apart, or the consequences of having somebody else in there, God knows what kind of emotions might get raised, then we say not to do it. But if they really don't care, they're not emotionally connected with these people, then,
This relationship is like a sandcastle. The tide will roll in at the end of the day and take it away and eventually flatten it out from the sand from whence it came.
All right, Byron.
This is
very poetic, yes.
There's no concrete or reinforced steel here. Amanda?
Uh-huh.
You're still with us, right? All right, am I right? This is fun. So tell him.
Should I tell him or should I just let it
Tell
go?
him. He'll be up for it.
You think he'll be up for it?
Yes.
Okay, Adam, right? Okay, Adam, my friend Casey wants me to ask you a question. Why do you masturbate so much?
Can I join?
And can she join?
Well, see, if you joined in, then it wouldn't be masturbation. It's like saying, I like to sing.
Casey's my girlfriend.
All right, listen.
You can't fly solo with a co-pilot, can you?
You cannot sing a cappella with a band behind you.
That is true.
Oh, there's an analogy of the evening.
I'm going to go home and have a nice long cadenza.
You guys are going to have a great time with Amanda on the 31st, I'm sure. All right, Drew, you got another call picked down? No, 'cause we've had enough of her. Wait a minute. Cabe.
Yes. Also from Portland.
Cabe, 25, you're on Loveline with Imperial Drag.
Hi. Hey, when are you going into Portland?
We'll be there Friday.
Friday night. All
Yeah.
right. At La Luna or where?
What's the name of the...
Rose Garden.
Rose Garden.
All right. Heart of downtown.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey, Cabe.
Yeah.
Give us that stoned laugh you do so well.
Excellent.
Right on.
Hey, okay, here's my deal. I have a roommate who's bisexual, and he's been coming on to me lately. And my situation is that it's his apartment, and I'm sort of like subletting the closet for really about as cheap as I can get. And I feel sort of intimidated by him because of the sexual advances.
You're afraid he's going to kick you out?
Well, that's the thing. It's like
There should be some kind of law against this. I mean, it seems like a sexual harassment of some type.
Yeah, exactly.
I can hear the story now. Cabe, the bong can stay, but you're going to have to go. We've grown attached to the bong, but we could do without.
Well, the thing is like, if I do go along with his sexual acts and it doesn't work out, I'm thrown out.
No, you don't go along with that kind of crap. That's ridiculous. Whether it's somebody's advancing towards you and extorting you, basically, to manipulate their position, whether male or female, whatever it is, it's not right.
Now, let me do a little math here, Cabe.
Yeah.
What is he charging you a month for rent?
$200.
$200.
Yeah.
You going to put a $200 bounty on your ass?
I've done it for cheaper.
Wow.
Cabe, you have?
Well, yeah. I mean, I got to support myself.
Cabe, what are you doing? Hooking?
Well, that's the other thing. It's like the sex doesn't matter to me. I have no sexual drive at all since I'm addicted to drugs.
So what are you addicted to?
Heroin.
Okay.
Okay. So
that's the thing. It's like
okay.
The sex doesn't matter to me at all, and it's just, and he's got this thing about the bisexuality that I sort of feel like he's like got some kind of control on his sexual emotions, where he can have sex and not like ruin a friendship or
which is ridiculous. Cabe, you have huge problem here, big problem.
Well, number one is the drug.
Besides the drug,
yeah,
I know that.
I mean, you're it's like rearranging the deck chairs in the Titanic here. You're junkie,
all
pal.
full of stuff. I think you topped the acapella one there, Drew.
And you're rationalizing about issues that are just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Cabe, listen.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes.
Here's the deal. Let's go in order of importance here. First, the heroin, because after the heroin, all the other stuff is just an offshoot of the heroin. You understand?
No.
And also, if you're hooking and you've been abused that badly, I mean, were you abused when you were a kid too?
No, I had a great childhood. It's just I got addicted to heroin.
And you've just been doing whatever to stay on the smack.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to get?
I'm trying to do whatever to get off of it.
Yeah, but you're staying on it. I mean, meanwhile, the calendar pages are turning.
Yeah. Well, have you ever been addicted to heroin? It's kind of hard to get off of it.
It's very hard to get off, but staying off it is really the hardest part, and you have to get some kind of treatment, or there's really zero probability of you getting off it. There's some data out there that suggests that heroin addicts that don't get into recovery by the time they're 30 do not live to 50. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's the fact.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need the scare tactics. I know I need to get off it.
Get some treatment.
All right, Cabe.
Yeah, that's another thing. Can I ask Dr. Drew that?
Yeah.
Okay, here's a problem about just on the heroin aspect. How do you get into a methadone clinic when you can't even afford your fix for the day, let alone a $360 a month?
I don't know what the laws are like in Oregon, but first of all, methadone is no way to treat opiate addiction. Forget that. It's my opinion.
I knew it.
My opinion.
It's more addicting.
It's a terrible way to go, in my opinion. I mean, if you are hopeless and there's no chance of you ever getting better, then fine, get on methadone, and that's great. I've never seen anybody taper off methadone and using methadone and stay sober. You've got to get into a program. You're going to be in a very structured environment for a long period of time. This is a very serious disease with a lot of relapse potential and serious medical consequences.
But part of what Cabe needs to do is not give in to his.
No, he needs to get the hell out of there. He needs to begin to get the focus back on getting off heroin, get out of his living situation, go somewhere where he can get better.
Dave, 20, you're on Loveline with Imperial Drag.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, this question is actually for Dr. Drew.
Dave.
But first, Adam, I've never heard you without a smart-ass comment. That's cool, though. I'm not saying it's bad. And, Drew, I've never heard you be stumped. That's kind of crazy.
What happened? Was he stumped and I didn't have a smart-ass comment?
No, you didn't that time, but it's cool.
Well, the guy was selling his sphincter to the highest bidder, and he was hooked on smack. What do you want me to do?
No, not just that last caller. I'm talking every time I hear it. I'm saying it's cool. You always have.
Oh, okay.
You always have some cool.
He likes that.
All right, Dave. Dave, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Let me explain something, and tell me if you would be offended by this. Drew came in here. You guys saw this from Imperial Drag. Eric, Roger, came in drinking this Diet Coke I now hold in front of me. He drank about half of it. I reached over, not because I was thirsty, but as sort of a bonding thing. I took a sip out of it.
Just for the taste of it, basically.
Yeah.
And what I do, when I picked it up, I took a sip out. I went to set it back on his side of the console. What did he do? He waved me off. No, go ahead. You finish it now. Now, would you? I'm taking a certain bit of offense to this. Do you know what I'm saying?
Roger thinks I have cooties.
But there's a distinct message here. Now, you guys have been. Wait a minute. You guys have been sitting there smelling that breath all night.
Oh, that's
right.
True.
Right. I mean, would you want to put your mouth back on a can that has touched those lips? Give me a break.
Is that all it was?
Probably not.
Any other night? Look at him.
No. Tonight you have been in a rare form.
Okay.
I think if you lose the stubble and wear a little makeup, you'd be a little more.
Basically, we're sitting here with Ren and Stimpy.
I'm belching up. All right.
Oh.
Okay, fine.
Dave,
very quickly.
Okay, check this out. With LSD, do you have? Is it a possibility that, like, say, if you have a bad reaction to it, say a bad trip, and can that cause more physical damage, say, than someone just taking it, having fun?
No.
Saying they've seen
In
things?
fact, the bad reactions, the bad trips, I'm thankful for, because that usually is what stops people from continuing to use that drug. It's the people that continually have good effects from the drug that tend to get the long-term consequences because they use it more. It's really an issue of what dose, over what period of time, how long, and what age you are that determines the long-term effects of LSD. So people that have a terrible reaction to LSD are lucky, and they tend not to be the ones that have the long-term consequences.
It's what got you to quit chasing the dragon, isn't it,
And
Drew?
strangely, people preoccupy with, I don't want to have that bad trip. As long as I don't have a bad trip. The bad trips you should be blessed with and thankful for those. That's it.
No time for phone numbers or fax numbers, just time for kudos and thank yous. Imperial Drag, I want to thank you guys for coming in here and doing a bang-up job tonight, namely Eric and Roger. You'll be heading off to Oregon tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
We wish you well, and we would like to urge everyone to get the Imperial Drag CD named Imperial Drag, so there should be no confusion.
Simple enough, isn't it?
And that's good with our audience, please. Just keep it simple. Dr. Drew, thanks for coming in tonight.
I'm putting up with that breath.
trying to think what to eat tomorrow night. Oh. Honey, oh, yeah. Tomorrow's gas night. That's flatulence night tomorrow. Me here Thursday. It's fart night. And every Thursday. I want to thank the beautiful Lisa and the lovely Sherry for manning the phones tonight, getting us some really interesting, different, heartfelt
interesting
calls. But good calls tonight. The lovely producer Ann for doing a whale of a job tonight. The One Nut Wonder engineer Mike for putting in the belch sound effects when it's appropriate. And I'd like to thank myself for coming in here and basically upchucking onto the mic, therefore disgusting my colleague Dr. Drew. Tomorrow night our guest will be no one, and that's good.
Yummy.
And Loveline will talk to you tomorrow.
Somebody spank me.
You've been listening to Loveline.
The opinions expressed on Loveline, especially by Adam Carolla,
are not necessarily those of the staff, management, or sponsors.
Or even the character voices. Loveline, produced by Ann Wilkins for Westwood One Entertainment.